Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. We'd like to thank you for joining us. My name is Lisa Hyben, and I'm the Marketing and Sales Specialist with Forum Infotech. We're very happy to have you join this session today. It's our second in the series of 3 of our education series. Our goal with this series is to help you to increase your network security, increase productivity and collaboration with a tool that your team may already have access to, and to understand how backup and disaster recovery can help a business to restore its continuity during an unforeseen disaster or attack. Again, today is session number 2, and we're going to introduce you to Skype for Business and its features. And we're also, which will ideally help to increase your team's productivity and collaboration. So just a few housekeeping items. Just like to remind you that you have access to your chat. It's in the upper right-hand corner. So during the presentation, please feel free to chat your questions, and we will be certain to get to all of them by the end. Today's format is about a 25-minute presentation followed by a brief demo of the Skype for Business product. And as we said, we're going to allow ample time for question and answer. So be sure to type your questions in the chat box, and we will address them all by the conclusion of the session. Just a quick reminder, everyone in the is attending in the muted mode, and we are going to be recording today's presentation. We'll share that link with you within the next 24 hours. Now I'd like to share a brief introduction of our presenter. Our presenter for today is Biren Shukla. Biren is the president of Forum Infotech. He started the company in 2012, which is 12 years ago. So I think you'll agree that's a pretty strong track record in the IT world. He's grown the business. We're now Microsoft Azure and Amazon partners. And Biren's philosophy is he approaches every conversation to add solutions that bring value to our clients and the relationship. It's a mission to become our customers' trusted advisor. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Biren Shukla.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, Lisa, for the warm welcome. We are excited to present this wonderful topic, which is really on the top of our customers' mind for a very, very long time. Many of our customers are using Office 365, and one of the things we hear time and again is how to use Skype for Business more effectively. Many people have questions about Link and what are the capabilities in this new version, which is now called Skype for Business. So I'm excited to share this. This is a slightly advanced module of Skype for Business. We're going to not just be talking about instant messaging because that's pretty self-explanatory. This will be slightly more of how you can use Skype as a full-blown collaboration communication platform. All right, so with that, let's get started. So first and foremost, let's talk about Skype for Business. Skype for Business is basically Microsoft Link with a lot more features. They just did a brand change in the name of the product itself, and with a lot more features. Now, Skype for Business is quite different from the regular Skype version, which I'm sure all of you are very familiar with. Skype for Business is for business environment, for work, and the regular Skype is just for personal use. And you'll see why Skype for Business has all the features and is tightly integrated with Office 365. So you can see here that if you want to have more than 20 people, if you want to collaborate with your colleagues, office colleagues, if you want to share documents, if you want encryption, If you want to use Skype for even a conference room, with a camera and a TV setup, you could do that as well. So some of those features are not available in your regular version of Skype that you're all familiar with. You all right? So the next thing I wanted to talk about in Skype for Business is they have really worked hard on presence and privacy settings. So what that means is presence is letting your users know where you're connecting from. Now, as you're aware, Skype for Business is available on your smartphone, on your Mac, on your PC, or your tablet. So you can actually access a meeting from wherever you are, whether you're in a hotel or on a vacation or even at work or at home. And so you can actually restrict, by default, people will know your location, but you can actually restrict and not show your location. So that's what presence means. And what privacy means is you can actually there's some granular controls that you have when it comes to privacy. For example, you have settings like colleagues. Now, take for example this particular setting. Let's say you want to be alerted. This is called tagging. So let's say once you've added all your contacts in Skype for Business, right, and you want to be alerted when your key executive is at their desk. So you can do that by tagging, just selecting the name and clicking on the tag. So every time a status changes for that key executive that you really want to get hold of, you will get a pop-up message on your screen. So you can tag and untag throughout the day different people. So and this is especially helpful for salespeople who are on the go, or you want to quickly catch them before they get their flight, or things like that. So you can figure out how you can use that feature, but I like it. It's super handy for me. I use it all the time, and it's very easy to tag and untag people. So this is part of the presence settings, right? Now, privacy is, again, when you click on a contact, right-click on the contact and you go to change privacy settings, the default settings is set to colleagues. So your notes, your location, and all your contact details are shared except for some personal details, right? So you can see it's very self-explanatory with settings you're comfortable sharing. But one of the things I would recommend is to go into your account and fill all those things out, right? Your personal, your mobile phone number, all those things, all your contact details, almost like an Outlook B card, right? And then you can kind of play around with this. So, and it's pretty nice because people can see when you're away, as you're very familiar with Skype. If you're away, you have different color codings and settings. If you're out of the office, also keep in mind Skype for Business is tightly integrated with your Outlook. So it knows, you can see all your meetings that are coming up. So if you have meeting, for example, right now we are in a webinar. I bet you right now my Skype for Business is set to do not disturb or busy status automatically because it knows that I'm in a meeting. So it's very, very handy to let people know. And I particularly like it because of the deep integration with Outlook and Office 365. Okay, so now we'll go into a couple more features of Skype for Business. You can see we have listed all the features out here. You can do ad hoc meetings. So let's say you quickly want to have a meeting with a colleague in another office or who's working from home. You can just simply right-click on their name and hit Meet Now, and immediately you are in a meeting with them. You can then also click on the video button if you want to have a video meeting as well. You can also, if you're in Outlook, if your Outlook Office 365 administrator has turned on an add-in, there's an add-in in Outlook where you can turn Skype for Meeting on. So when you are setting a meeting up, you can actually just click on that button and set up a meeting. So it's pretty handy. keep in mind that Skype for Business is really like an alternative for GoToMeeting or Cisco WebEx or many of these Join.me and other products that are out there. You can actually use Skype for a staff meeting, for a company-wide meeting, for department-level meetings. So you can do all that good stuff. You can have a conference phone number and a dial-in phone number. You can control very granular who can download what, and you can restrict with a PIN, having a PIN. So there's a lot of things you can do with that. Also, you can co-author documents. You can record meetings. You can even, so here, take for example, ad hoc right there. Very simple. Just click on the button and you can do that, right? Then scheduling from Outlook. Extremely easy and very, very straightforward. So for example, today I set up a Skype meeting, like a demo meeting for 10:30. So as soon as we're done with our presentation, the meeting will pop up. And it's very easy for users to join. So one of the things I wanted to mention is when you schedule a meeting, the next step you get is to control meeting options. So this is where you can get really, really granular. Keep in mind, this is a screenshot from Outlook. So you can then say, okay, there's a feature called lobby. A lobby is where people come in. So you can, let's say you're doing a staff meeting, right? And you don't want people to have a PIN number, you don't want to restrict, right? So you can just come here and say, allow people to join in the lobby. You can do that specifically. Then you can limit participation during the meeting. So let's say during the meeting, you want people to freely instant message each other, you want to, or you may not want them to do that. You can even block attendees' videos if you want. So down there, you can see all those features. So all that is done right from within Outlook. So currently, a lot of people are using third-party products. They're going out there, they're going to GoToMeeting, or they even have a GoToMeeting plugin into Outlook. Most of these companies already have plugins, so you can actually go in and basically have your IT people add the plugin for you. But what I've noticed is that when you have a third-party plugin in Outlook, I've seen Outlook sometimes not open correctly or take longer to open, or that third-party plugin can actually cause issues with your Outlook functioning. So I particularly prefer Skype because it's a Microsoft product and it's very nicely integrated. Another thing now, so I just wanted to show you some screenshots here. So when you do set up a meeting, this is what the end user sees. This is what they get in their appointment when they accept your meeting. They'll get a URL like this called Join Skype Meeting, and they can simply click on it. Now, when they click on it, there's two ways they can connect. You can download the full Skype client, but let's say they don't have the whole Skype client, similar to GoToMeeting, right? You don't have to download that. You can then use just Skype for Business, a web app. It's a very light version, and it quickly gets you into the meeting. Also, when a pop-up pops up, you can click on the button, Join Online. And then if you have the Skype for Business open, you can click on the calendar button, and it shows you all your meetings for the day. And then the final screenshot over there shows you your audio and video settings. So one of the cool features of Skype is you can actually call somebody and have them join the meeting as well. We'll talk about that as we go a little bit further. Okay, so this is also a nice feature. Local number. This comes in handy. It's called the dial-in conferencing services. So this is an add-on to your existing Skype for Business, which is already part of most Office 365 plans. If you don't use Office 365 at all, it's $2 per user per month if you just want to use Skype for Business. And you can have a lot of this functionality I'm talking about here, and then you can keep on adding more and more features, and even use Skype for Business as a phone system. So this comes in handy if you're traveling or if you just want to find a local number for somebody, and they can use their local phone lines to dial in and not incur toll charges and things like that. This is this slide basically talks about the Skype for Business web app. So when you click on that Join Skype for Business, right, you don't have to download the full client, which I talked earlier. You just put your name in and join the meeting. Now, what will happen is based on the meeting settings that you have set, remember we talked about allow people to wait in the lobby or manually allow people. So depending on what you chose, you can see in the yellow bar down there, one person's waiting in the lobby. So you can actually see who's in the lobby. You can manually admit them to the meeting. You can do all those kinds of things, which is pretty nice. So this is what a lobby looks like when people, when you're having a meeting and people start coming in. So you can see on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see all the people. You can deny all or admit all at once. You can also invite people. And if you have video camera turned on, you can actually see all the cameras for all your staff members right there. And then if you start collaborating on documents, you can also share that and you can see that as well. So it's pretty slick. There's a lot more features. When you click on more button, you can mute your audience. You can do all those things. Let's say you did not set all those settings up from your meeting options in Outlook when you first set up the meeting. You still have an option to manage all those things on the fly from the lobby section. And on the participant side, they have different views. So this is what they will be seeing, right? They can see all the people. They can see the slide deck. They can see their colleagues, all that good stuff you can do from here. You can even collaborate. This is talking more about presenting. You have granular control, so you can present your entire desktop, or you can present certain programs, or you can simply just present the PowerPoint file. So there's a lot of flexibility when you host meetings. It's very similar to GoToMeeting or other products, but why pay 20, 30 bucks for a user to host meetings when you can very nicely get it using Skype for Business as part of your Office 365 package. So here it talks about how you can co-author Office documents. Now keep in mind when you click on this, what happens is, let's say you want to work on a PowerPoint presentation together with your marketing person. That particular PowerPoint presentation stays on OneDrive for Business in the cloud. And then that's how you can collaborate. So you can define edit permissions with whoever you're sharing the documents with, and you can actually do the PowerPoint together and knock it out. So it comes in very, very handy. Do that. So we'll keep going further here. This next slide, again, talks about how you can record the meetings. Recordings are stored locally on the computer, or you can also save it in the cloud. So you have multiple options there. What else? You can record in various different formats. So if you want to save, you can do 720 pixels or 180 full high definition. You have those options as well. I like how OneNote is also tightly integrated with Outlook. It's also an add-in, so you have to turn that on. And all this your IT administrator can help you with. But I like OneNote because, as you know, OneNote is, most of you might be using Evernote or some other meeting notes form. I like OneNote because I can access my notes pretty much on any device, right? And I can even share that. So let's say, for example, we had a client meeting and you took a bunch of action items from the meeting, but you want to now delegate that to somebody else in your organization. So you can simply just share that, or you can set up a meeting and you can pick that notebook to review with whoever you're delegating to. And you can go over all the action items with them. So that's what I did today for my 10:30 meeting that's going to come up. I actually created a Skype demo meeting notebook, and I shared that, and so yeah, it stays on OneNote, OneDrive, and then that person can edit and let you know when it's all done. Couple other features which I think are essential when you're doing meetings, especially if you're doing webinars or things like that, are polls and whiteboard discussions. So all those things are available, as you can see, simply by clicking on the monitor icon there and clicking on more, so you can have all those features. The poll is very handy. One of the things you can do with poll is you can share those findings, the results from the poll, with your attendees, or you can choose not to share. You can actually get a screenshot of the entire poll and save it as a PNG or JPEG format, and then use it in a staff meeting or something like that. So it's very easy, and it's real time. As people are taking the polls, you can see that in action. Next thing I want to talk about is how you can use Skype for Meeting as a broadcast for broadcasting. For example, a GoToMeeting replacement. And you can actually do this for up to 10,000 attendees. So that's pretty nice in my opinion. And then you can also use Skype as a full-blown PBX, a cloud PBX. So back in the days, you would have those big Toshiba and Panasonic phone system PBXs in your data room, IT room. Nowadays, all that can be done through software. So everything can be in the cloud, and you can simply have a single piece of software installed on your computer or your tablet or your device, and then you can use it for everything: instant messaging, meetings, transfer phone calls, all that good stuff. So over the last couple of I would say quarters, we have seen Microsoft really add a ton of features to their cloud PBX products. For example, you have auto attendant. They're still working on the auto attendant feature, but they have music on hold. You can follow me, find me features. You have company directory. You have pretty much all the features that most businesses need nowadays built into the Skype for Business PBX product. Now, of course, this is an add-on. So for $8 per user per month, you can add that on, and then you need a calling plan. So the calling plan is just like just like your phone line. For $12 per user, you get a domestic calling plan. So at 12 plus $8, for $20, you can pretty much use Skype as your phone system, right? And you can make calls, receive calls, and then you also get some UK minutes, 1,200 UK minutes. For those of you who are making international calls, you can actually add an international plan as well. And you can pick and choose. That's the beautiful thing about this product, is you can have few people in your organization only have Skype for Business conferencing features. So only managers are allowed to have the ability to create meetings, right? Create conferences. Others just have the regular Skype for Business. Then few people can have the Cloud PBX with a domestic plan, and few people who are traveling can have Cloud PBX with the international plan. So you can do all kinds of combinations and have it all tightly integrated. So on this slide here, how it talks about most people who are using ShoreTel or other products out there, they have a ShoreTel application, and then they use Skype for collaboration, instant messaging. So now you have to manage two different applications. So this is where Skype shines, right? Because one product can do pretty much everything for you. You don't need GoToMeeting, you don't need ShoreTel, and you don't need a separate Skype for Business for IM. You can just use Skype for pretty much everything. IM, your meetings, as well as your phone system. So this is where, all that is done in the cloud for you. So as we're coming towards the end of our presentation, let's get familiar with some of the terminology that Microsoft likes to use. So Office 2016 apps is basically a suite. Office 2016 includes Word, Excel, Outlook, right? All that good stuff, along with Skype for Business. And you can purchase that separately, right? Per user per month. Office mobile apps are your lighter versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. So you can do some very quick editing on the fly, on the go. And Office online apps are your, Outlook Web Access or OneDrive, where you can simply log on to the cloud and access everything. Also, I want to share with you some useful sites to get familiar with some of these things. And finally, let's go into questions. Actually, let's do demo before we do questions. So what I'm going to show you here is this reminder. So this is that meeting that I had set up earlier. And so it's 10:30 right now. And this is the alert that you get in Outlook. Now you can simply click here, join online, and this is what you see. Okay, so give me one moment. Share my screen. I'm going to share. Okay, there you go. So now you can see that earlier I was showing you the messages. Now, I was very granular when I created my meeting under meeting options in Outlook. I specifically chose to mute the audience, right? And then there you go. So this is that pop-up, right? I can join because it's 10:30 right now. So it's very easy to join. Right, there you go. Share the screen. All right, so you can see this is the kind of things you can do. So when you click on the share option here, we went over the more, right? That's your whiteboard, poll, and question and answer. So poll is really nice. Let me give you an example of that. So right here, I can do a test poll. I can say, rate this session. Very simple, on the fly. Good, great, poor. Okay, and you can create it, and you can broadcast that as you go. So there it is. It's being broadcasted real time, and as people vote, you can basically see the results, and then you can do poll actions. You can save the poll results. You can clear everyone's votes. You can show results to everyone, or hide the results, and then you can close the poll and you can stop the sharing. So again, very, very easy, intuitive. Shared notes. So let's say you want to share notes with people. This is that OneNote integration I was talking to you about earlier. You can see I've shared my notebook. I can specifically pick a section in a notebook to share with somebody, right? And then you can collaborate together, or you can create a new notebook here. So it's really nice. My notes, co-authoring, all that good stuff. So we went over all that. So that's pretty much it. You can actually see the lobby view here. You can see all your participants. Of course, I disabled the video, so that's why you're not seeing the videos, but you can allow video, and you can have those meetings there. So that concludes our demo and this session. I want to open this session up for question and answers. So let me go ahead and close this out.
Yeah, thank you, Viren. So just a reminder to the other participants that have joined us since we started this session, please feel free to type your questions in the chat box. Viren, I have a couple of questions from those on the line. So Tyler is asking, you said something about replacing GoToMeetings, but he's asking, what about replacing GoToWebinars with this tool?
Yeah, so it's an excellent question. I mean, GoToWebinar, as you know, has been around for many, many years, and Microsoft is still playing catch up, because after the Skype acquisition, they've been adding all the features. So what I have found is that for most of the features, I mean, Skype for Business has most of the features. For example, when you're doing a webinar, polls are very important. You want to poll, right? When you also want to control, uh, at scale, mute everybody, unmute. So those features are very, very standard. What I see Skype for Business lacking is where you can create like a registration page for signing up and branding. So some of those features GoToWebinar has, and also what GoToWebinars has is you can send those multiple invites multiple times to drive participation and registration, which I don't think you have that automated in Skype for Business yet, but you can manually do that. So where I see Skype for Business come in handy is mostly for internal staff meetings, where you simply pick your distribution group in Outlook and it shows up on everybody's Outlook calendar, right? So I like monthly safety meetings and things like that, whatever that is, right? But not as a full blown replacement for Skype GoToWebinar,
Mm-hmm.
not yet.
Okay. So just as a quick follow-up to what you were just saying, not only your team, but I imagine you could add your vendors into your distribution group too, right?
Yeah, actually, that's a really nice feature of Skype. So I'm glad somebody asked this question because, as you know, Office 365 is one of the fastest growing segments for Microsoft, and lots and lots of people are using it. So one of the things we do is you can add your customers. So I'll show you an example here. Again, your IT administrator can do this for you. Specifically, you can actually add your customers. You can create a customer group here, okay? And you can start adding them, and you can see when they're online or offline, and you can instantly message them or even have a video conferencing with them, right? I mean, how powerful is that to be able to add all your partners or customers or vendors, and you can quickly see when they're online and when they're not. Very powerful stuff, I think.
Okay. Well, thanks for showing us that. I think I have a question maybe from a skeptic here. Somebody is he's commenting that he likes the idea of using Skype for Business as VoIP, but as far as his receptionist and the other staff in the law firm are concerned, he knows that they're going to need physical handsets. So, how are we prepared to set up physical handsets like the regular desk phones?
Yeah, yeah, that's an excellent question, right? What about the front desk who needs that handset to transfer calls? So there's a couple of things you can do, right? With using the Skype for Business software app, this app, you can actually do all the transferring and everything from here. Now, I don't have PSTN turned on, but I can pretty much make calls and do everything from here. You can transfer people from here, put them on hold, everything using the software. Now, let's say your staff is, you kind of have all the age groups and they're not very comfortable, they want a handset. Well, you can get Skype for Business certified handsets today, and they're certified, and you can have a physical handset as well. So some of you folks who are comfortable not having handsets, you can save a lot of money by not having to provide that, but you do have Skype certified handsets available today. Now, let's say you decide to move your existing phone system to and start using Skype for Business as your phone collaboration platform now going forward. You can actually transfer all your phone lines, phone numbers that you have. You can do all that good stuff, right? Very seamless, and without losing your phone numbers, because I know a lot of people get worried about that. I don't want to lose my phone numbers. I want a smooth transition. So all that is possible now.
Okay.
Excellent question.
Okay, good. And then we have a question here from Lori. She said she thought you heard you mention earlier about the Skype for Business, using it as a conference room. I think we might have heard that very early on when you were going through your slides. Can you say more about using this tool as a conference room?
Absolutely. So Skype for Business Presence, you can basically buy a Skype for Business certified camera. Logitech and a lot of other vendors make them. So you can just simply get a TV. Again, there is some configuration involved. It's not as simple. You have to create a mailbox so that you can create those rooms, and you can pretty much just have a camera and have the right plan, and you can use Skype as a video conferencing platform. Very inexpensive.
Okay, that's good to know. Let's see if we have any more. We're really winding down on our questions. While we're waiting to see if any other questions come up, I would just like to say thanks, Biren, for all this information. Is there any final ideas or notes that you would like to add to today's presentation?
Yes, yes. I just realized I wanted to show something else. One of the features that I like the most about Skype for Business, and we use that actively, is a feature called conversation history. Conversation history is basically all the communication that happens in your organization between your staff members is saved. So between you and anybody else is saved in a special folder in Outlook called conversation history. This is extremely helpful because let's say sometimes somebody shares something with you, like a password or a piece of information, and you're not at your desk. Well, that is saved here for you, so you can come back and pick it up. So it's really nice, and it will tell you when you missed a conversation when you're away from your desk. So again, lots and lots of good features with Office 2016 and Skype for Business. Here you go. You have these icons. Very easy. Meeting notes, meeting options. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this session.
Yeah.
Lisa,
I have
all
to
yours.
I appreciate the conversation history, especially it's great to be able to do a search based on maybe I've spoken with Ricardo and the support team. I didn't remember the details or a specific URL. So thanks for pointing that out. That really is a great feature. Well, I don't see any additional questions, so I think we'll kind of wind things down. Thank you, Biren. I want to remind everyone of the next webinar that we have upcoming. It's the third one in our series, and that one will be held on Tuesday, June the 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That session will be called Understanding Backup and Disaster Recovery, Business Continuity. I know we have people from different areas of the country on the phone today. And we'll be sure to send you the link to today's recording. And that will also include the registration link for the other seminar. If you are chomping at the bit and want to get registered right away, you can certainly go to our website at www.foruminfotech.net/training. And in that training, you'll see, we'll actually park the link to today's session and the PowerPoints. We'll post those a little later. The ransomware presentation that we did about a month ago, that link is available to you, and you can listen to that recording as well. So for those of you on the call, again, we want to thank you very much for your time. For those that are current clients and want to hear more about Skype for Business and how it can help your productivity and collaboration in your team, please don't hesitate to reach out to Biren or myself. For those that are perhaps prospective clients, you can reach out to us as well at biren@foruminfotech.net. And we thank you very much for joining us today. Thanks, Biren.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.